Hey, it's Emily Williams, the founder of I Heart My Life and your host of the I Heart My Life show. This is episode 164, How to Close One Year and Start Another. So I'm excited about this episode. I feel like New Year's are an incredible way to just put the past behind us and move forward with a clean slate. So much is possible for the coming year, and I hope you feel that in your bones as much as I do. I think 2020 taught us a lot. 2020 showed us how powerful we are and how resilient we are. And I think many of us, more than ever before, are looking forward to that fresh start and everything that 2021 has in store for us. We hope that it's travel. We hope that it's not wearing masks. We hope that it's hugging family and friends without worrying about it. We hope that it's actually leaving the house, right? So we're going to talk about how to close one year and start another. And this applies to every year to come. It's not just 2020. So I want to make sure that you feel supported as you go into the coming year. You know what your goals are, and you're just feeling completely lit up about what's possible for you. So let's dive in. Are you a coach looking to hit that coveted six-figure milestone? Are you looking to better understand how to map out your revenue so you actually reach your financial goals in the coming year? Do you want to get more clarity on who your ideal client is, what program is going to help you get financial wins, how to shift your mindset to become that six-figure earner? If so, keep listening. I'm hosting a brand new masterclass called How to Create a Six-Figure Coaching Business this year on January 18th, and you are invited. All you have to do is go to iheartmylife.com/6/figures. We'll put the link in the show notes, don't worry, but that's iheartmylife.com/6-figures, and you'll be able to sign up for this incredible training. So we really believe that anything you desire is possible for you and meant for you, and that includes wealth and abundance. So if you want to know how to make it a reality this year, that six-figure level or even more, this training is going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm also going to take your personal questions, so you're going to want to tune in live. All right, so go ahead and sign up, iheartmylife.com/6-figures, and make sure to save your seat. We are so excited to see you there and support you in your next level growth. All right. So first and foremost, as you're closing off your year, I want you to really take time to reflect. Now, luckily, we have you completely covered. We've actually created this incredible New Year's guide. It basically walks you through all the ways in which we recommend you do reflect, all the questions you should ask yourself, the way in which you can vision and set goals. So it's super handy, and it will help really explain this process in a tangible way and give you some clear action steps to take. So all you have to do is go to iheartmylife.com/2021, so 2021. So iheartmylife.com/2021, and you can download the free guide. It's really fabulous. It even talks about vision boards, so definitely check it out. So today, the first thing I want to really share with you is that reflection piece of 2020 and everything that happened is so, so important. We don't want to just dive into the next year. We want to make sure that we're acknowledging that this year did happen. Now, I know a lot of people might want to forget it, but trust me, regardless of what happened in your life, there is something to learn from the last 365 days. And so this is important with every single challenge that comes up. A lot of people want to move through challenge as quickly as possible and get to the other side, and they forget to acknowledge and even observe what challenge is actually teaching them. So this is first and foremost for me. I'm looking back at the challenges. I'm asking myself, what are my biggest lessons from this year? Because the truth is, just like our most challenging clients, we learn the most about ourselves and we grow stronger through dealing with our own challenge, right? And what I mean by the challenging clients piece is I had a coach tell me, you're not going to learn anything from your most amazing clients. You're going to learn the most from your challenging clients, which is so true. Anytime there's a challenge in our company, not just with a person, but I'm able to see, oh, okay, so we need a better process for this. We need a different strategy for this. We need to hire somebody new for this. We need to change the expectations of the clients. We need to change up our marketing, right? If everything is completely hunky-dory, we don't actually see where we can improve. And I think this is really important. This is what successful people do well. They don't let challenge derail them. They're like, okay, great. So there's a lesson here. Bring it. I can totally handle it. I'm going to pivot. I'm going to transform. We're going to do better next time. And we're going to grow stronger throughout this challenge. It's not like, oh, woe is me, and I can't wait for it to be over. It's like, okay, great. I'm going to make a transformation. So one of the things that I saw recently, there was a celebrity, and I'm not going to name names. There was a celebrity picture in people.com of somebody walking down the street with a sweatshirt that said, "This is a nightmare." And that really struck me as sad, first and foremost, because of course there are tons of people who are experiencing a nightmarish reality at the moment, but there's always a bright side to be seen if we choose to look at it that way. And so to wear a t-shirt that literally is stating, "This is a nightmare," that it really upset me and it bothered me that someone would wear that and that would be the thing that everyone else saw as they were walking down the street. Right now, there's a picture of this person and that's what we see. And we're reminded, oh, this is a nightmare, or we're taught this is a nightmare. But it really is all about how you choose to see it. And so I know that I'm speaking to the people who maybe experienced a lot of challenge in the last year. There are, of course, people who had an incredible year, and we'll talk about that in a second. But regardless, we're all human. And so we are going to come up against challenges regardless of what year it is. And so I want to really support you in having an element of gratitude for the challenge because of what it taught you, because of the lessons that you learned. All right. And at the same point in time, I want you to take a look at what worked. You know, we do this in business all the time. After a big launch, we look at what were the challenges, what could we have done better, and of course, what worked. So we know what to do again and again and again until it doesn't work anymore. So what worked for you in your life this year? What was something that you're really proud of? What are you celebrating? How did you grow? Did you make more money? Did you expand your business? Did you step into your role as a leader? I know for me, there's tons of things that I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating taking control of my health, losing weight, understanding that it's safe and okay for me to rest. I'm celebrating building an incredible team, growing all of our programs, getting even more clarity, simplifying, right? All these things are so important to reflect on because here's the thing. The mind wants to know that you are acknowledging all of the good stuff. And that's truly how you attract even more into your life. If we're only focused on the things that aren't working or the nightmare that we're experiencing, we're going to get more of that. You know as well as I do, if you're in a relationship, the moment you shift your thinking and you focus on your partner's good traits versus their flaws, you immediately feel better. You feel lighter. You feel more love for that person. And it's the same thing for other things in your life. Okay. So really focusing on what those things are that you are celebrating and taking time to reflect and to really just immerse yourself in everything that happened in 2020 and almost have that closure, that sense of closure around this year before you springboard off into 2021. And for everyone, you know, that's different for everyone. Some people like to have a whole process where maybe they're lighting a candle and they're doing some journaling. Maybe you take the PDF that we have available for you. You set aside an hour one evening before New Year's and you go through all of it, right? Other people, maybe it's just making a quick list. Other people, you want to have a conversation with one of your friends or your partner about this year. So you get to decide what works for you. But regardless, I really want you to have some sort of closure with the experience. All right. Now, let me give you a few questions to kind of prompt you. And again, you'll find some of these in the workbook that we are gifting you. So let me pull that up here. What are you proud of from 2020? What are you grateful for? What were some of your happiest moments? In what ways did you grow as a person or as an entrepreneur? Is there anything that held you back from reaching your goals in 2020? What was the biggest obstacle you faced when it came to being an entrepreneur and running a business? What mistakes or missteps do you need to forgive yourself for? That's a huge one, right? How many things are you going to carry into 2021 that are going to weigh you down and no longer serve you? That's so, so important to remember. This is not about carrying tons of baggage into 2021. So what do you need to release and forgive yourself for? What about guilt? Is there any guilt that you need to release, right? Are there any stories that you're holding on to that are no longer serving you? So really think about all the things that you don't want to be taking into a new year and create a sense of closure and release those things. All right. You get to make a decision. And this is something I really want everyone to understand, that this is a fresh start, so to speak, and you get to decide what happens from here. I always tell people, because I work with people on transforming their money mindset and making more money, I tell them your current financial status is not an indication of what's possible or meant for you. I'm going to say that again. Your current financial status is not an indication of what's possible for you or meant for you. All right. Your desires are the things that are possible and meant for you. So if you, for example, had a very challenging 2020 and it's hard for you to find many things to be grateful for, that's okay. But I ask you to remind yourself on a regular basis, especially now, that just because 2020 was what it was does not mean that you're not going to be able to reach your goals. It does not mean that you can't start your business. It does not mean that you can't leave your 9-to-5 job. It does not mean that you can't have a best-selling book. Whatever's coming up for you in terms of your mindset that you know is going to hold you back, I ask you to release it, because those stories are not going to serve you in the new year and in this new chapter. All right. So once we have a closure on 2020, we want to move into what we want to create for 2021. Now, I love thinking about my intentions. I recently did this, actually. I do this from time to time where I write down updated desire lists. At the beginning of building my business, I had this big, long list. I think it was about 25 items. And at this point, the time that I'm recording it, I've ticked all but 3 off of that list. And I love to make updated lists because I've seen firsthand the power of the written word and getting clear on what it is that we actually want. And so the way that we do this at I Heart My Life, of course, is with business goals, but we also look at your actual desires for your life, because we believe that your desires are your compass. They're guiding you in the direction that you're meant to go in. They're guiding you to your purpose. And here's the cool thing about desire. A lot of people get hung up around judgment and fear of wanting the next level thing. Maybe it's a new car, maybe it's a new house, whatever it is. But the thing that you desire, if it's a physical item, or even if it's working with a coach or being in a mastermind, you have to understand it's not about the thing. It's about who you become on the quest for the thing. All right. So if anything is coming up for you around, is it okay to want this? I ask you to put that to the side and just be with the desire and the intention for this year to come. There's so much judgment that happens around what it is that we want. Like I said, whether it's a material object or it's an actual goal itself, right? So release that. And remember, even if you're not the person yet who's able to make that happen, you are, because you wouldn't be aware of the desire unless you were energetically aligned to it. So that's what's going on here when you have a desire. And then in the process of getting the desire, you become the person who's able to have it. I hope that makes sense. Like, what happened for me when I first invested in my business was James lent me his credit card. I spent $7,500 on working with a coach. I quickly started to gain some traction, and then I was ready for the next level. I ended up investing 6 figures to work with this coach, right? And I didn't have the money. I didn't know how I was going to make the money. I had literally just hit 6 figures in my business. I didn't know how I was going to make all the payment plans. But because I had the desire and I made the decision, I became the person who was able to create that reality. It wasn't about the thing. It's never about the car. It's like, who are you on the path to the car? The car is a vehicle, for lack of a better phrase, to transformation, because you first have to acknowledge, oh, hey, I want the car. And then after that, you have to say, okay, so what's the plan for making the money? For example, I always wanted a Range Rover, right? So that was a big aspirational thing. And it's never about the car, but it's about the transformation that happens on the journey to getting the car. All right. So this is a very long-winded way of expressing how important desire is, especially in this practice. I want you to lay it all out on the table. So what is it that you desire for the year to come? And again, it could be a material thing. It could be a goal. You could even split this up into personal intentions as well as business intentions. I like to do that. I like to have 2 separate lists. All right. So get clear around what your intention is. All right. And it's not just for the achievement, but ask yourself, what is my intention for my mindset, for my family, for my health, for my relationships, for my bank account? Okay. This is really important that you guys are getting this. And then the next piece, once you have your intentions, and again, go to town on this, give yourself a few hours. Maybe you want to do one kind of run through, and then you get more ideas on the next day and you keep adding to the list. Really, the sky is the limit. But what we want to do here is we want to be aware of who we need to be in order to reach those goals. So it's not enough just to put them down on paper, right? If I had done that years ago, I literally just put things down on paper and then that was it, I would not have gotten results. We're not going to the top of a mountain and meditating our way to success. We're actually going to take that action. So ask yourself, who do I need to be to get those results? How do I need to be showing up in order to achieve those things on this list? Right? That's so, so important. We need to have an awareness. So maybe for you, that means if you have a health goal, you need to hire a personal trainer because let's be real. You thought you committed to that goal this year, but you couldn't do it on your own. You weren't as motivated as you thought, and so it didn't happen. So how are you going to hold yourself more accountable? Maybe you have a goal to transform your mindset. So what are you going to do? Are you going to order some books? Are you going to enroll in a course, again, to give yourself a high level of accountability? Are you going to jump into a mastermind? You have to be aware of what it's going to take to reach these goals. And that's where I see a lot of people going wrong. I don't want you to just set out these goals or write out your desires. We need to be aware around, do we actually want these things? And if so, are we willing to put in the effort? Because I personally have no patience for people who will tell me until they're blue in the face that they want the thing, but they're not willing to do the work that's required to get the thing. All right. So it's great if you have it down on paper, but really ask yourself, am I actually going to show up for this? And if you're not, it's totally okay. And by the way, if you're not going to do it right now, but it's still a true desire, and you're going to move it to 2022 or something like that, move it to 2022. You get to decide, this is your list, but I want the things on your list that you're actually going to show up for, things that you're actually motivated to transform for. Because if you don't have the thing yet, transformation is going to be a requirement. It's not an option. It's a requirement because you don't have the thing yet. So there's something standing in the way of you getting the thing. So that could be you're not taking the action. It could be that you don't have the skill set yet, so you need to learn a new skill. Could be you don't have the mindset yet. Could be that you don't have the coach or the support yet, right? Or maybe you didn't get the desire until now and you're transforming just by becoming aware of the desire. So I hope this is making sense. So we want to close out the previous year in a way that honors everything that we've gone through, everything we've experienced, everything we've learned. Then we get into the desire of the next year and all of your intentions. Then we want to commit to actually taking the action and the transformation. All right. And that looks different for every single person. So I need you to really be self-aware here and ask yourself, how committed am I to achieving these goals? Right? Am I going to create a vision board? Am I going to hire a coach? Am I going to have some sort of group where we hold one another accountable? Okay. And I want you to really, really pay attention to what comes up in your body when you think about meeting these goals, reaching these goals, achieving these desires. What comes up for you? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it insecurity? And if that's the case, please, please, please get support so you can hold yourself accountable and so somebody else can hold you accountable. All right. I want to see you achieve your goals. This year can be completely different than any other year that has passed so far. It can be the year that everything changes course. And I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. There were many New Years where I was questioning what in the world I was actually doing. I had no clarity. I didn't know what my purpose was. I didn't know how to get to the next level. But what I did was I continued to trust. I continued to put one foot in front of the other. I continued to be curious about what was right around the corner. And I can honestly say in our business, we've been doing this since I had the idea for the company in September 2013, right? After that, we started building the website and so on and so forth, right? So over 7 years. And I can honestly say that it's taken me to this point, to this moment at the time that I'm recording this, to have confidence in what it is that I'm doing and to feel like, okay, awesome. You know what? This year was a huge success. I'm going to be so proud of myself. And I actually have a plan for what's to come. probably for the first time. We have a very detailed plan, which is super exciting. So also be patient with yourself because it takes time to feel established. It takes time to feel like you have a foundation beneath your feet. And I'm speaking to those of you who are newer business owners. Maybe you've had a business for a while and you still don't feel that way. But regardless, just continue to trust and know that the most important thing is that you continue to show up on behalf of your dreams, have that faith in what it is that you're doing, and take the action to move forward. Because everyone's timeline is completely different. Not everyone has the same experience. Not everyone has the same, challenges. Everyone has a different timeline. And frankly, I believe that we're where we need to be in the right time. Life gives us what we need in the moment. And so really, what else can we do but trust and continue to show up and take that action? All right. And there are a few other prompts on this incredible workbook here that you'll be able to see yourself. So you'll get asked about what you're committing to accomplishing. You'll be asked about what your non-negotiables are. How do you want to be held accountable? We talk about how the next year is your year to shine. So definitely go to iheartmylife.com/2021 and get this amazing freebie and PDF download. I want to see you thrive next year. I want to see you shine. Remember, anything is possible for you. And there's this incredible quote at the end of this workbook by Mike Dooley. He says, "The one thing all famous authors, world-class athletes, business tycoons, singers, actors, and achievers in any field have in common is that they all began their journeys when they were none of these things. Yet still, they began their journeys." So I'm wishing you an incredible new year and an incredible 2021, whether you're at the start of your journey or you're starting a new journey. Regardless, I believe in you and I'm so excited for what's to come. So keep moving forward. I hope you love this episode. Remember to go to iheartmylife.com/2021 to get your New Year's guide and dive into it right now. It's not enough just to listen. We want you to take action so that you get big results. So can't wait to see what's in store for you in 2021. Take that action now, and I'll talk to you soon. We hope you loved this episode. Thank you so much for being an avid listener of the I Heart My Life show. Take a second and leave a review. It would mean so much to us, and we read all of them. And for further inspiration and life and business tips about creating a life that you love and achieving massive success, definitely follow us at iHeartMyLife on Instagram and at iHeartMyLife Now on Facebook. See you next time.